There's been absolutely tons of amazing details that have been revealed to us through interviews done by Yoshi P on job adjustments, Dragonsong Reprise, the brand new Ultimate, PvP, dungeon balance, what the story's looking like in the future, and more. And I'm going to be doing an overview of all the juiciest details in this video. Just to be clear, this is not going to be the same video as the actual live letter coverage that I'm going to be doing in roughly like 24 hours from now. These are independent interviews. Credits to KMillerby and the original news sites that did the interviews, and the original link is going to be in the description and the comments if you want to just view the original documents. I will be paraphrasing things and doing an overview of the points, as well as reorganizing some of the points into categories that I will be providing in timestamps. So first up, let's talk about the job changes. Yoshi P made clear that most of the changes are going to be buffs for the jobs, but that there are some actions, and I'm personally interjecting here, guessing that this probably means Scholar's expedient ability, that have been so-called overly effective and will be downtuned. So yeah, personally, I'm betting expedient. The changes, however, are not just going to be numbers and are actually going to, in some instances, change how some of the jobs feel in actual gameplay, citing that they acknowledge a risk of players' current feel of their jobs getting a little bit confused or a little bit different. One example that they're citing is making Dragoons jump a little bit more snappy. Then they said that they are still going through with these changes, even though Ultimate is coming out about 2 weeks after 6.1. They are still deciding to go ahead with this because there are still so many other forms of content, like the Lance raids, the new extremes, the Savage raids. So the developers really want the game as a whole to be comfortable for the entire player base, instead of just the, to be quite honest, as we all know, very super small niche of players that will be attempting Ultimate, let alone clearing it. Yoshi P, however, did state that he is confident, though, that the players of the skill level to even attempt the Ultimate can definitely adjust to these. On that note, let's talk about the Ultimate. So weapons from the new Ultimate are said that they might stand out more than usual. I, for one, am curious, if not kind of concerned, what this actually means, and I'm hoping that tomorrow during the live letter that they show previews, because given my personal preference of glamour styles, that might really not be something that I like. I worry. I just think about some of the weapons and I'm just like, oh no, are we gonna go to like the novice weapon sets that were like super like you could not miss them from a mile away, but I did not like them. So I worry. I'm curious what they're going to be like. Moving on from that though, Yoshi P did say that people who aren't aiming for world first for Dragonsong Reprise but still attempt it seriously to like set a timeline expectation for around 4 to 5 or so months. But for people who are more casual and take it slowly, it may take even longer than T. The T meaning the Epic of Alexander Ultimate, the Ultimate that we got for our last expansion. Yoshi P was comparing this to UCOB, the Ultimate Coil of Bahamut, which at its release was considered universally harder than the Epic of Alexander and Uwu. Oh whoa. And where Uwu and T were more puzzle solving for the whole fight, but UCOB and the new Dragonsong Reprise are going to take that idea a few steps further. End time is still going to be under 20 minutes, but still expected to be very, very long, so we're probably getting right up to the 20-minute mark. Yoshi P did have some words about dungeons, revealing that the dungeon name wasn't announced as it might make players form kind of preconceptions about what it is and what it implications it might have, but he will be watching the player base's reactions to the dungeons, since it is tapping into what he puts the development team's mischievousness. I'm personally expecting some memes in this. However, Yoshi P did reiterate in this interview that we will be sticking to having 1 dungeon per patch, so it seems that the days of like 2 different dungeons per patch are long gone. Instead, obviously, they're just funneling development efforts into like different types of content rather than just explicitly dungeons. In terms of the brand new Alliance raid coming with 6.1 called Myths of the Realm, or as we lovingly put it, Wedding Savage, they put it as, you could say that this is as close to being an epilogue to the Hydaelyn and Zodiac arc. The Zodiac arc. With a difficulty set around the Stormblood return to Ivalice raids, meaning that we are definitely going to see people who get this in Alliance raid roulette who aren't too thrilled. Is it Sidolphus Randolphu or whatever, the Thunder God from that one Alliance raid? Yeah, that's the like Alliance roulette killer. I actually really enjoyed running those though, so yeah, I look forward to it. We're gonna be moving on to PvP, and Yoshi P had a lot to say on PvP in the interviews, and I'm gonna try my best to condense it here, but there is a lot here. So the overall goals of the new PvP game mode is to increase how many people are experiencing PvP, and that historical data from game itself indicates that Frontline indicates that there's a lot of people who are interested in PvP, but that there was a very intense hurdle when we are looking instead at the data from the Feast game mode that also put a ton of pressure on healers, and then people were basically needing to lose until they eventually were able to like pick it up and really get into it, and that it was just too many hurdles to really get into a place with that game mode where people were having a lot of fun. So instead they want to pivot and make a brand new game mode that could with the goal of appealing to more people broadly that have limited amounts of time per day, which I think largely applies to pretty much everyone. Most people that I talk to working jobs, going to university, in some cases both. Like there are single mothers in my community even. Like there is definitely a large amount of truth in the limited time per day. They also cited that there is a variety of activities in 14 where PvP isn't necessarily the core aspect of 14, and so they also want to make it approachable for people who have like the mass preponderance of their time go into PvP activities, i.e. raiding or housing. So housing is probably about as close to actual PvP as one can get. Mind you, that's having housing changes, so let me shut up there. Current state and previous housing was as close to real PvP as you can get. With all that said, they made this new mode called Crystal Conflict with objectives rather than just destroy the other team. And all jobs are going to have some capacity to both output damage and maintain their own HP in a fight. There will be no role requirements in this mode. New mode will have matches last around 5 minutes and will go into what they call sudden death, which is going to be basically like a way to accelerate. Okay, the match needs to like close up now. There are going to be 3 maps on release. There's going to be 1 vanilla map without mechanics, and then 1 with wind and people getting caught in a storm, and then 1 with falling lava and lava zones involved in it. Now, for a lot of people who are bummed out about the Feast, this is actually going to be really good news, or potentially really hopeful news. Yoshi P did also mention that the Feast might be coming back later because there was a lot of feedback indicating, and basically people asking that it does be retained, my apologies. But Yoshi P did say that there were concerns about how balanced those modes would be given the changes that they are bringing with 6.1 and the Crystal Conflict release. So we'll have to see how that actually pans out. In terms of the story of 6.1, the concept is that there are new challenges that still await, citing concerns over player burnout, and really an inspiration from Star Wars and the subtitle of episode 4 called A New Hope. So now we are on a so-called new adventures, but don't be too hyped for the backpack and the patch art. Yoshi P did mention that the clothes are on the table, but the backpack might not necessarily be. What was interesting was during these interviews, Yoshi P did mention that this might be a possible in a far-off future, but it might be possible a few expansions off in the future that this becomes a new starting point for players in the future. Really, in this patch and going forward, the Hydaelyn and Zodiac arc is complete, and in the 14 world, though, there are still so many unexplored mysteries and other really dangling threads that want to be explored. And now, rather than being given a task to carry out as the Warrior of Light, now we're just like adventuring and wanting to like explore this world. Likewise, future locations can include areas both new and unexplored as well as old, citing Mirror City as a potential location. Now that is it for this recap. Take care everyone, and I hope that you are super hyped for this live letter coverage coming tomorrow in roughly 24 hours, so I look forward to that. And yeah, take care everyone.